Hello, my name is Jacky, and for my cooking chemistry video project, I will be baking a cake. The materials that will be needed are a measuring cup, eggs, vegetable oil, but I will be using olive oil, electrical hand mix, frosting, and a mixing bowl. First, preheat the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. As I wait for the oven to preheat, I add the cake mix into a bowl. Baking a cake is more than just mixing ingredients and enjoying a light, fluffy, and incredible treat. It's a chemical change too. The biggest clue that baking a cake is a chemical change is that it transforms ingredients into a new substance that cannot be reversed. Next, crack 3 eggs into the mix. Eggs play a big role since their ingrained proteins work with other ingredients to form the structure of the cake. The yolk and the eggs help to mix ingredients that normally don't want to stay together, like oil and water. Those same proteins, when heated during baking, help to achieve the nice golden brown hue. Then add 1 1/4 a cup of water into the bowl. Then add half a cup of oil. Proteins in the egg white are uncoiled by the heat of the oven. This helps in making the cake puffy. The egg yolk adds richness and moisture to the cake, but too much and the cake will be wet. Begin to gently mix before turning on the hand whisk. Baking soda becomes sodium carbonate, water, carbon dioxide, making the cake have little holes in it. Those little air bubbles of CO2 get trapped in the cake and make it fluffy. After the consistency of the cake mix is smooth and the eggs are mixed well, where you can't see them anymore, turn on the hand whisk and repeat until all the ingredients are mixed and the texture is very smooth. The specific heat capacity of a material is a measure of the amount of heat energy that is required to change the temperature of a given amount of substance by 1 degree Celsius. The cake pan I used is made out of cast iron. Cast iron has a carbon content of greater than 2%. It takes a long time to heat up, but then it will stay hot for a long time. Foods that require high heat are best cooked in cast iron. Cooking with cast iron is better because it does not leach any toxic chemicals and heavy metals into your food. Cast iron has a non-stick surface and it cooks thoroughly using more radiant heat than stainless steel. In an oven, the hot air flows by natural or forced convection while heat is distributed from the heating element by radiation. When exposed to heat, carbon dioxide bubbles are formed and are trapped in the oven, which causes the cake to rise. This is a visual image that specifically shows how and where the convection is in the baking process. During the baking process, heat is also transferred by conduction from the baking metal container to the baked product. As you can see in this picture, baking soda produces carbon dioxide bubbles, which are trapped by the starch in the batter, and it expands during baking, which causes the cake to rise, which is shown in this photo. Radiation is considered as the main process of heat transfer occurred in the oven. As I opened the oven, I felt a lot of heatness since the heat was radiating from all directions. It took me a little while to take the pan out of the oven because of the strong amount of heat I felt. Cakes take in heat, otherwise known as an endothermic reaction. To cool down, the energy inside the cake transfers to the baking pan and air molecules through the process of conduction. This process causes your cake to become cooler by losing energy, while the surrounding air and baking pan gain energy and become warmer. This is a visual aid that represents how each cake would look if ingredients like oil and egg were not used. This is another visual aid that shows how the different amounts of sugars affects how the cake will look and taste. Finally, decorate your cake to your liking.